Welcome to Two Side Outdoors, your hunting, camping, fishing, survival techniques, and everything outdoors. Enjoy the podcast. So here we are.
Okay, cool.
So today's episode, basically, all we're going to be talking about is, I guess, everything catfish for all sorts of things like that. So I have Joseph from the 928 Flathead Boyz on here. If you want to introduce yourself a little bit.
Yeah, what's going on, guys? Joseph Lugo from 928 Flathead Boyz, right here in Yuma, Arizona. Born and raised in Winter Haven, California, and moved over here into Yuma probably officially in 2012. And, been an AZ resident since and been pretty much fishing ever since I can remember when I was a baby. So here I am.
Awesome. So what made you decide to create this Facebook group?
You know what, man? There's kind of it's kind of a crazy backstory. So I had been thinking about doing it for quite some time. And I was kind of I don't know about late bloomer on Facebook, but I didn't get Facebook till probably about, I want to say 2013, 14. And I was totally against it, whatever. And finally just decided to go out and get one and, started reuniting with old friends. And then I started following different pages and forums. And I started seeing what social media can do and people, how far it can reach out. And so I was on one of the local forums and I just decided one day, you know what, man, I'm gonna start, selling tackle. I had all the right hookups and, I got tired of paying all the high prices out of town. And, here locally, nowhere had any of the stuff that we use, for the heavy game, the flathead stuff. So,
yeah.
So I reached out to my resources, to my vendors and my people that I know back east, and they started sending me stuff. And, so I had nowhere to post it. This was before, pre, 928 Flathead Boyz page.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up getting blocked off of one of the forums because they said that I was flooding the page, which I wasn't. I was following guidelines, but
No, yeah, it's like a lot of them. They don't like it when you start posting stuff to sell.
Yeah, and the thing is, it was like I said, I wasn't going too crazy with it, but apparently it was. So I said, okay, and one thing led to another, and I thought, man, my sales went down, and so I thought, you know what, enough's enough. It's time. My wife says, why don't you do your own thing? You're ready. You got the experience. You got the hookups. Do it. So I started it, and once I started selling, my initial investment was, I don't even remember, it was like $1.5 million, and in 3 days it was paid off.
Oh, dang.
And then I was out of product. So
it started going quick.
Yeah, it started going quick. So long story short, by me getting banned from that forum or group, whatever you call it, it motivated me enough to do my own thing. And
no, it was just that little kick in the butt, basically. It was like, hey, get it going.
Yeah, and it was just like, this is such a small town to be doing that to people, and I'm not going to be negative. I don't post nothing negative, and I don't push negativity, But
no, yeah.
It was just like, okay, that was uncalled for, but you know what? I'm a winner, and I'm going to come out on top regardless, and I'm going to take this as motivation, and let's run with it, and it took off. It really took off.
No, that's cool. That's funny. It's like how, I told you about, one of my coworkers is related to you.
Uh-huh.
And it's like that one day, it's like we were talking to another coworker about fishing stuff, and he was like, oh, yeah, just hit up this guy. And I was like, you know this guy? He was like, oh, yeah, it's my brother-in-law.
Yeah, you said that, and I'm like, yeah, definitely small world, man. It's small world, but small town,
Oh, no, yeah.
And it's one of those things where, the right people, or, even the wrong people will get you pointed in the right direction sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I said, you just got to roll with it, and I'm a positive vibe, as you can see on the page. I'm positive vibe, and that's how I live my life, and I'm just enjoying every bit of it.
See, it's like, for me, looking at your page and stuff, honestly, your page is pretty cool. It's like everybody down there, there's so much interaction between all the members.
Yeah, and yeah, I have a core group of members that are active, as you can see.
Mm-hmm.
And they're always on there, and we have great conversations. And sometimes we'll start talking crap to each other, and it'll just go back but it's all good. It's all
No,
fun
it's
and
like all
games.
good banter basically between each other.
Yeah, exactly. And then you'll get guys that haven't really interacted in a while. They'll come on, they'll get in on it, and you get a lot of newbies. And I appreciate all the newbies that are on the page. And when I say newbies is guys that just started fishing that maybe they fished when they were little. They haven't fished too much. Maybe they're fresh. They're new at it, or maybe they fished trout or nothing but bass, and they're getting into the flathead and catfish world. And they get on there, and I don't feed off it because I think that's a bad word.
No, yeah.
I roll with it, and I use that to spread what I know and what everybody else knows on the page to help those guys out and to help them get better and educate them on the game.
No, yeah. It's like me. So I've never really fished for flatheads before. I've only been doing mainly trout, bluegill, and channel cats here and there.
Yeah.
And bass, hit or miss, whenever I can try and get one.
Yeah.
So it's like that. That there is just like trying to figure something out new, but it's pretty exciting too, though.
Yeah, I grew up. We did nothing but bass fishing growing up. Me and my brother, and my dad, and obviously I learned everything from my dad. And my brother, as I got older, and my dad was always a catfisherman. They used to catfish back in the days, and that was back in the days when there was a lot more water around here, and there was a lot more, fish and bait fish, and you could go out and just catch bait like nothing anywhere, And,
oh no, yeah.
It's like as my dad, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And as my dad got older, he started getting into the bass fishing and pushing the bass fishing with us, and one day I think I was 20 years old, and I went out to Martinez Lake, and we camped out there with some family and friends, and I got hooked onto a big flathead, and ever since then, man, since the year 2020, 23 years later, here I am, just hardcore. That's all I think about is flathead.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So.
No, yeah, it's like for me, I was going to say that. So I grew up in Southern California area, and that area it's a good drive to multiple like freshwater areas out there.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is just trout, bass, channel cats whenever they stock it. Same with trout.
Yeah.
And some of those little green like bullhead catfish, the tiny little guys.
Okay. Yeah. Yep.
And like I remember one time. Oh no, yeah. I remember one time fishing at Lake Paris with my dad. We were on one side there that had nothing but rocks, and I was just digging. I was probably 15, just digging in some of the rocks right there. Stuck a line in there, and this was just up on the shore about like 5 feet in. So I just dug down until I got water. Stuck a line in there and pulled a catfish out of there.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, "What the hell? There's nothing here. Why the heck is a catfish stuck way back here in these rocks?"
Right. Yeah. It's funny how sometimes things like that happen, and I don't know, maybe open your eyes or just change your what you want to do or what you.
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's like I've had other experiences with catfish as well. Fishing more Northern California, Lake Isabella area.
Okay, yeah.
The Kern River, and same thing. I was out there. What was I? There was like a little cove area that we were in, and fishing for catfish. Caught one, brought it up. This thing started squirming like crazy. Snapped off the line, and you know how catfish have those barbed fins?
Yeah.
One of those barbs went right through my knee.
Oh yeah, how big? What? So I'm assuming it was a channel cat.
Yep, channel cat. That barb was probably about 2 inches.
Yep.
Right through my knee, and like it pierced my swim shorts, through me, and out my shorts again.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it probably burned and stung. And,
oh no, I didn't feel it because I was the adrenaline from catching a fish.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Luckily, there was another fisherman passing by that had some pliers, so I was able to cut it off.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And pull it through, and then I was just like, "Damn, my leg's bleeding."
Yeah, it's crazy. Those little channel cats like that, they have those barbs, and they got kind of like a hook in them, and when they go inside you,
you can't pull them back out.
No, you can't. I mean, you can rip them out but there's sometimes you can't pull them out.
Oh no, that's why I said this was through my shorts, through me, and out. So it was just like, well, I'm gonna tear basically the line of my knee if I pull it right back out.
Yeah, really. Who was I watching? I was watching a YouTube channel one day, and this guy was wearing his Crocs, and they were walking through the rocks and stuff like that, out wading, fishing, and all of a sudden he jumps out of the water, and they're like, what? He throws his Croc off, and there's a catfish on the bottom of his Croc. He stepped on it.
Oh, shoot.
And somehow that fin went right through his Croc, and it barely poked him on the bottom of the foot, but he was able to kick it off just in time.
Oh, yeah.
But it went right through his Croc, and I mean, it was kind of it would have sucked if it would have really got him, but it was pretty funny after realized what happened.
No, yeah, it's like a little harpoon.
Yeah. So those guys, I'm telling you, man, it's a trip. Those little channel cat, man.
Oh no, yeah.
So, but definitely, man, it's the catfishing game. It's addicting, bro.
Oh no, and it's like right now, as soon as it's starting to heat up, everything seems to be biting right now.
You know what? Right now, the bite with this weather, and it's not so much the weather. The weather has a lot to do with it, but it's mainly obviously the water temperatures,
Mm-hmm.
And right now, they're so active right now. There was over 500 pounds of flathead caught in my catfish tournament this past weekend.
Let's see, that was another thing that I was going to ask you. So, with this tournament that just happened, kind of just tell us a little bit about it, and then what's going on with like future, if there's going to be future tournaments.
Well, every spring now, I throw I call it the spring 928 Flathead Boyz spring tournament, and it's open to the public, and you don't have to be just a page member or know me or anything. It's literally open to the public. I have guys from out of town, I had 2 guys come from San Diego. Excuse me, 2 guys come from Phoenix. I had a couple come from Raleigh.
Oh wow!
I think I had one from Blythe. And like I said, I do it every spring, and it's I get awesome prizes. It's 100% payout. Top two places get a cash payout, and then like I said, I do raffle tickets. I do prizes. I think with this one, I had a total of, I want to say 35 prizes.
Oh dang!
And it's prizes from top people like Whisker Seeker, Tackle, Muddy River Catfishing. He's one of my big guys, big resources. And he's a little guy, but he's one of my big resources. And, I get Demon Dragon from the what is it, Tackle Bandits guys. I had some, I had some Mad Cat stuff in there. So it's not just your little average tournament. I mean, it's getting to be really big. I had more entries last spring than I did this one, but I've also noticed a fall off on a lot of the beginners that started fishing last year. They're either busy or maybe they lost interest. I don't know. I just don't see them like I did, last year.
Yeah.
But so every year, I try to throw at least 2 or 3 per summer, and then 1 during the fall. I don't have any dates yet on future tournaments just yet. Usually my summer tournaments are kind of a whim. Maybe I'll give about a month's notice.
It's like a hit or miss kind of thing.
Yeah, and it depends too. There's another series of tournaments that's going around by the Human Valley Rod and Gun Club.
Yeah, I've seen that.
With that one, and I'm not going to bash on nothing or not, nobody like that. I'm not going to go that route. I'm not taking that route. But it's for members only, which is cool. You sign up, you get that permission, that access to fish that tournament. By all means, go for it, man. But with mine, I open it up to the public, and I don't. The one thing that's for sure is nothing goes into my business. Anything that I bring in from the tournament, as far as like fees, entry fees, prizes, raffle prize money, that doesn't go in. So
it all goes back to whoever put in.
Yeah. So as far as like the angler entry fee, that goes back to the first and second winners, and then any prize money that I get from selling raffle tickets, that gets donated to my son's baseball team.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, last year's prize raffle money I donated to my daughter. I have a daughter that has a rare disease, and I donated any proceeds from the raffle to that, foundation for that. It's a small foundation, but they're just picking it up and they're running with it. So I like to do my part to help out with what I can.
No, that's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. So it's a pretty good thing. It's all, I don't make nothing off of it. Just what I make in sales from my tackle that I have, and that's about it. So it's a good little thing that I got with these tournaments, man, and they're fun. I had so many people, bro, asking me when's the next one, and I'm like, dude, you don't understand, I'm so burnt from this one, I don't even want to think about tomorrow. But now that I'm rested, and I'm gonna go up and do some fishing in New Mexico this weekend. And once I get back,
No,
then
yeah, I
I'll
seen
ready
that
to
on Facebook that you were posting about that.
Yep. Yeah, so that's like a trip of a lifetime that I take. I take it twice a year, and then I ended up fishing the tournament over there every September. I fish with them. This year it's in August, and
And out
it's
there,
so much
it's
fun.
blue cats, no?
Yeah, Blue Cats. I'm going Friday. We're gonna hit Flathead, so we're gonna hit the Rio Grande, and we're gonna hunt for some big Flathead flow. So
Oh, dang.
stay tuned to the page Friday, man. You might see some monster fish.
That's cool.
I'm hoping.
So, do you have any favorite fishing brands or gear that you usually recommend? Besides, like, some
For
of the
me?
stuff that you also sell?
For me, rod wise, it's monster. It's Muddy River catfishing all day. I started selling Muddy River catfishing, and he's Chris Flores. I don't know if you've seen him on YouTube. He's Muddy River catfishing on YouTube, and I reached out to him a couple years ago, and asked him what kind of deal he can do for the small guy. I said, I said my orders aren't going to be much, maybe 10 to 20 rods per order, which apparently that's a good size order.
Oh, dang.
And he says, hey, bro, I can do anything you want, man. He's like, if you want to order 20 rods, cool. You want to order one rod, cool. I'll give you the same price on each rod. So I'm like, really? He's like, just, sell what I sell at my price, and that way I'm not in competition with you. He's like, well, we're good, And so then placed the order, and he sent them out to me, and I started using them, and man, I've been hooked since. I tried another brand last summer just to try, but this year went back. I'm looking at my rod rack right now, and all I see is Muddy River rods. As far as like tackle, to me it's all about Whisker Secret tackle, and the Demon Dragon products made by Tackle Bandit. And for like lead, I do everything in house. I make all my weights.
Yeah, I seen that the other day on Facebook Live. You were sitting there making those.
Yep. I've been making weights now for about 6 years, and finally decided to put them to use, and here it is.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
One thing with, like, say, with catching a lot of these larger catfish and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of them, I've seen some people that keep them, the large cats, but then there's other people that just catch, take a picture, let it go. What's your take on that?
Well, I'll kind of break it down. It's not, and it doesn't take rocket science either. If you see, so personally, I'll go on to that in a minute, but personally, I release the big ones. Anything over 10 pounds to 12 pounds, I release. And I rarely bring catfish home. I got a 11-year-old son that loves eating catfish. And if he says, Dad, I want some catfish nuggets, well, guess what? Son gets catfish nuggets that next day, But as far as anything big, I think the last big one I brought home was probably maybe 35, and that was right before my dad passed away. And I kind of wanted to brag to him and show him, and that was one of the last big fish that I caught,
Mm-hmm.
But we ended up frying it, and we all ate it, the whole family, and kind of gave my dad a good going away type fish fry, and he enjoyed the crap out of it. So, I don't regret that one. But, personally, like I said, I'll throw the big ones back. I won't even hesitate, And like when I go fishing with Chris, like anything over sud, we throw them back. Any flatheads, we throw back, But it's one of those things that, if you think about it, you catch a 30-pound flathead compared to a 10-pound flathead, and they're both full of eggs. Which one's going to have more eggs?
The larger one.
Exactly. Think about it. And if you want to get into the science, about it, which I've done, and I know, you're talking about thousands and thousands and thousands of egg, difference. So, you want to keep the population growing, and I'm all about that.
Oh, no, it's conservation right there.
Exactly. And you would want more eggs out there when it's spawning season. You would want them to lay more eggs, than less eggs. So obviously throw the bigger ones back. And then obviously those bigger ones have great genes. They made it that far. People have, caught and released those big ones, and look where they're at. And you want those big ones to keep their genes in the gene pool, just like with deer. You get into an area where there's some big monsters, that's obviously got a good area with good gene pool,
No, yeah.
It's the same thing with flatheads. Same exact thing.
It's like the way I see it is like a lot of those larger fish are the breeders basically, and
Yeah.
in order to get more fish of that same quality, you got to let those guys go.
Yeah. And you know, with that being said, at the same time, I'm not going to harp on anybody if I see anybody bring home a big fish. You know?
It's like to each their own, basically.
Yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. Everybody, I've expressed my opinion. I've expressed how I feel. If other people feel this different, that's perfectly fine. Because guess what? At the end of the day, who pays for that fishing license? You know?
Yeah.
And when you buy a fishing license, that's what they have regulations for. That's what they have size limits for. That's what they have quantities, limits for.
Mm-hmm.
For that specific reason. Nowhere in the regulations does it say, you know, we don't have slot fish around here. You know, you go up to like Florida, you know, and you're fishing for redfish, you know, the red drums. They have slot fish or slot seasons where you can only catch them if they're so big, but they can't be this big. You know? And there's nothing like that for catfish. So I don't buy your license. You don't buy mine. So I'm not going to harp at you just like you don't harp at me. You know?
Yep.
I have my opinion and leave it at that, you know?
Oh, no, yeah.
So, but it's always an argument, though. It's always, I see it online. And
oh, no,
you know,
yeah. People are going left and right at stuff like that. And sometimes it's just really?
Yeah, I want to throw my 2 cents in there, but I leave it. I let them, and I just sit there and I laugh, and I'm like, this is not going to get anywhere. Just shut up already, you know? But it is what it is.
Okay, so now it's another questions. Some of your best baits that you'd say for fishing.
Oof, man. By far, all day, live bluegill and live tilapia. So this past weekend, I caught, I think, 2 or 3, and all the ones that I missed a lot for some reason, and every single one of them was off live tilapia.
Oh, nice.
And it's crazy because during the beginning part of the season, early April, late March, we were catching them off of nothing but cut bait, you know, and we tried some cut bait. We took out a bunch of cut bait this past tournament, and we didn't get a single bite. We landed, I think, 5 or 6 on the boat, and every single one of them was off live tilapia and live bluegill. But my bait of choice all day, live bluegill and live tilapia, man. It never fails me. Never fails.
What are your thoughts on like people using goldfish?
Goldfish work. They a lot of people have used goldfish, and they've been using goldfish for years. You know, you just gotta pay attention to the regulations where you can and can't fish with goldfish or salties. You know, the black salties, which are pretty much the same. But yeah, I mean, those are solid baits. I mean, I even use them sometimes if I don't have time to catch bait, you know, or whatnot, or I'm out of cut bait.
No, yeah.
You know, I'll get a hold of David Kuhn for some salties, or you know, the Hideaway Bait Shop for some goldfish, and you know, hey, I'll have luck with them. You know.
That's like what I grew up on. Like me and my dad would go fishing to Blythe area, the backwaters back there.
Oh, damn, big fish back there.
And we'd use goldfish, and me, I guess I may have been too impatient as a kid when we would go. I never caught anything on goldfish.
Oh man, yeah, they work, man. They're good. They're a good bait. They're you know what? When I go over to Imperial and I fish over in like Calapat and Raleigh area, I catch a lot of majority off of those goldfish. It seems like, you know. So I'll take a good handful of them when I go out. Even if I have bluegill or tilapia, I'll make a trip down to the bait shop and, hey, can I get a half a dozen goldfish? You know, because it never fails. I'll end up knocking one down off of the goldfish. It's crazy. So never give up on those, buddy.
No, that's why I'm keep on trying. I know maybe this weekend I might go out fishing. So I'm off Saturday. So
well, there you go. Take advantage, man. Take advantage.
Something else. So I remember I talked to you about hunting on Facebook Messenger for a bit. So got to ask that question again. So,
end it.
Do you hunt local?
Local as in, yes, I do, but I hunt on the California side. I hunt on the reservation, the Cochon Reservation.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I've been hunting there. Well, I grew up hunting out there, and then when I moved into Yuma, became an Arizona resident, I kind of stopped hunting for a couple years, and then 4 years ago, I started hunting out on the reservation. And so far, I'm 4 for 4 on the reservation.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
Yep, definitely. Nothing big, but they're out there.
Oh, no, a lot of times, like, you don't have to have a big deer, usually a fork and horn or whatever it is. And honestly, it's just fill the freezer for that little bit of meat.
Yep. I usually donate everything that I get. I give it away. I kept a little bit this year, but usually for the most part, I give it away to buddies, or if some of my buddies don't want it, I'll give it to some kind of charity that takes it.
Oh,
And
that's
it's crazy because a lot of those charities sometimes are kind of picky. They're like, well, and it's like, look, do you want it? It's free meat. It's game meat. I get it. A lot of people don't like game meat, but I mean, it's free. It's a donation.
And it's like, if they don't like the flavor, honestly, just season it different.
The thing I tell people is, if you don't like the flavor of venison, throw that SOB in the crock pot and you're set. You just basically got yourself a beef roast.
Yeah.
There. Same. There's no difference.
Oh yeah, I've seen that before. I've had a buddy of mine actually give me a deer backstrap steak.
Yeah. Yep.
And it had a little bit of like silver skin on it and stuff, so I was like, let me clean that off. Seasoned it up, threw it on the smoker, took it off. That was some pretty good meat right there.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with backstrap, man. It's so tender and juicy, and as long as you season it right and you bleed it right, man, you got yourself a great steak right there. Definitely.
Do you have any crazy fishing stories?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I do, and it involves my New Mexico fishing trip.
You
might have seen the video. I'm on YouTube over this video.
I don't know if I've seen it or not yet.
Go to Muddy River Catfishing and on YouTube, or even scroll down on the page. I think I highlighted it on one of the top deals on the page. But so I go over to New Mexico 2 years ago. First time ever fishing over there for blue cats, and I tell Chris, I said, hey, very first blue cat I catch, it's gonna be my PB. He says, you serious? He's like, never color. I said, never. He's like, all right, man. So we're fishing about 30 minutes, an hour in. Bam! I land a blue cat, 47 pounds, bro.
Wow.
And this fish is all girth. I mean, just huge stomach. He's all cut up on his side. He was in the shallows, in the brush, chasing the shad, and chasing the bait. And we got him in, took a bunch of pictures, and we noticed he had like this fork, like this damage on his tail. He had a deformed tail. It looked weird, man. And we took some pictures of it, and all right, cool. Turned it loose, CPR all day. Went on about fishing. I ended up catching 13 blue cats that day. And awesome trip. I mean, one of the funnest trips ever, if not the funnest trip I've ever had in my life. And so we stay in contact throughout the next couple months. And, this was beginning part of April of 2021, I believe. In July of that year, Chris messaged me. He's like, hey, bro, are you available for a phone call right now? I said, sure thing, man. What's up? He calls me up. We're talking. How's everything's going? This and that. He's like, hey, dude, I got this crazy story, man. I said, go for it. And he told me, he says, so I had this buddy he ran into this buddy on the dock, and they're just going back and forth. And Chris is like, all right, man, I'm going to get out and do some fishing, and if you guys need anything, give me a call. All right, cool. So a couple hours goes by, and he gets a phone call. I say, hey, Chris, this is so-and-so. He's like, yeah, what's up? He's like, hey, we caught a pretty nice fish, but our scale is broken. Do you have a scale? He's like, yeah. Where you at? He's like, we're right here at the dock. He goes on in and starts weighing this fish, starts looking at it, and he's like, you mind if I take pictures? And he's like, no, not at all. Start taking pictures, and he starts looking at the tail. He says, hey, this fish looks familiar. I was like, what do you mean? Yeah. Chris pulls out the pictures of when I caught it back in April, and sure enough, it's the same fish, man. That tail, dead giveaway.
Oh, wow.
Dead giveaway. So Chris did a freaking video on it, bro, and basically said, here's the moral of the story. You want to know if CPR works and why we do CPR? This is why. Because
prime example right there.
Exactly. You can't get any more detailed and any more perfect than that. And, he says this gentleman, got to catch it and enjoy it. It was his bucket list fish, his PB. He released it. He says, hey, I want you to, and I said it, go back and get bigger for somebody else to catch and be somebody else's PB. And sure enough, but the thing is, it lost weight. It dropped 5 pounds from April to July because of the spawn.
I see.
So when fish are spawning, just like when deer are rutting, they have one thing on their mind, and that's it.
Oh, no, yeah.
They live off their fat. Their body starts eating their fat, and this guy dropped weight, so he was 42 pounds only. So I was like, well, thank God he didn't gain any weight. He didn't beat because I have the record on the boat so far. And Chris was like, that's freaking awesome. So, yeah, so that's a pretty awesome story. Yeah, that's probably one of the greatest stories out there, if you ask me.
Oh, no, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Living proof that CPR works. Definitely, man. That's awesome.
I'm gonna say, here's another question, but you basically already answered that. Your favorite species of fish to catch? Obviously, flatheads.
Flatheads, and then I'm gonna be straight honest with you, bro. Blue cats is right there, man. Put it this way: if I was a New Mexico resident and I lived in New Mexico, blue cats would be my favorite fish all day, man. They're so much fun. Their bite when they hit, bro, the takedown, and you lock it down. You don't let them like run with it. Like on a flathead, you leave the rod open, the bail.
Mm-hmm.
You leave it open so they can take line and you can hear your clicker, With blue cats, you're using nothing but circle hooks, That's the hook of preference, And you just lock it down and they hook themselves and you see that takedown and you feel the boat move. Oh my God, bro, there's nothing like it in the world, man. I mean, that's I've never been deep sea fishing, so I can only imagine. But to me, there's nothing like it. So blue cats is right there with flatheads, bro.
That's awesome. That how they do like a takedown like that. See,
it's unreal.
I've done some deep sea fishing before. Gone out when a barracuda hits and just takes off. Yeah. Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, I've heard about that too.
But then also everybody gets pissed because your lines get all tangled up.
Oh yeah, yep. I've also heard about that. And they say that, what I've also heard about that is if you get like a record fish or even like a big shark on, they just cut your line.
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah, they don't mess around. I'm like, man, I would get so pissed off if somebody did that, but I understand it's part of the rules of the boat. I get it.
No, I've done some deep sea fishing tours and stuff with at a Newport Landing and at a San Diego.
Okay.
And there's one that we did, I think it was out of San Diego somewhere, that we were fishing at night for squid.
Okay, that's cool.
The big old giant Humboldt squid. And those suckers for sure put up a fight. It's crazy.
I bet.
Because it's like, there's no real like muscle to them. It's more of like a little jet propulsion system that they have, and they put on a fight just with that.
Oh yeah, I can only imagine. I've never been deep sea fishing, but it's on my bucket list. I wanted to check off blue cats first, so now deep sea is next, brother. It's gonna happen soon.
Oh no, it's hopefully like same here. I want to go out again because I want to do some tuna fishing.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. That's man. I've read nothing but great stuff about that. So
yeah.
But if you ever want to do some solid flathead fishing around here, bro, and I don't know what your schedule is. I work Monday through Thursday, and I'm off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I mean, let me know, man. You're always welcome to come out with me, and you can film. A lot of people know my spots around here. I'm not one of those guys that, this is my spot, because you know what, man, people are gonna fish out here. It's open land. I don't own it. Everybody pays for their license.
No, yeah.
It's one of those things where I kind of joke about it. Oh, you're not going to see my spot, but it's all good, man. So if you ever want to go, man, let me know, man. And we'll
definitely.
Get you out there for sure.
One last question that I have.
Yep.
Do you think Yuma waters have some of the best fishing for this area?
By far, man. By far. I know that there's people catching big fish in Bartlett, up in Arizona and Roosevelt and all that, and the Salt River, but you see a majority of the more consistent fish, the steady catching from the Colorado River. And I'm talking about from all the way to the lower Colorado Bend down there, or the Cocopah Bend, which is down there by Morales Dam and all that, all the way up to Walters Camp, even past that, all the way up to like Parker. You see a majority, and not just, flatheads and channel cats. You see a shit. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cuss.
No, you're good.
You see a whole bunch of stripers, largemouth, smallmouth bass, and it's because the abundance of bait we have in our waters. The bluegills, the shads, the carp. It's unreal, the tilapia. So yeah, I say by far in Arizona, and I know I probably get a lot of guys, beg to differ and piss a lot of guys off, but man, in my opinion, hands down, yeah, we got some of the best waters around, bro.
No, yeah, it's like so far since I've only lived out here for about 6 months now. And since I've been out here, it's been pretty awesome to just drive 10 minutes down the road and be able to go fishing.
In that for sure, man. I see these guys on the ACH page in Arizona, up in Phoenix and like around there. They're like, geared up to go fishing, been planning this, and they got to drive 2 hours. They got to drive an hour. They got to drive 3 hours. And I'm like, dude, I got to drive 15 minutes. I'm at my fishing spot.
No, yeah. And it's just like, for me, when in California, it's like I used to have to make sure I prepare, make a date and everything, and then drive a half hour to an hour to most of the places.
Yeah, that's man. I can. Oh man, that'd be that'd be crazy. It may be one of those where you could only do it so often, and imagine those days when you go out and get skunked. I mean, yeah, I know you're not going to fish or catch fish every time. They call it catching. Or else it'd be catching, not fishing. But
No,
it'd
yeah.
be like, drove all this way, made this plans for this trip to get skunked, man.
No, it's like right now my wife, she's on a skunk streak. She hasn't caught anything since we've moved out here.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
She gets mad at me whenever I go, and it's just like, you caught something?
Well, you guys, I'm telling you, man, let's all get together and, man, I'll change that for you guys, man. I'll get you guys on something good, bro.
Oh no, yeah, I'd definitely be down for that to make her happy with that.
Definitely, hey, man, happy wife is a happy life. Right?
Yep.
That's my motto I live by, man. Yeah, definitely, bro. Have to make something happen.
Well, we've been doing this for about 35 minutes, so that was pretty good.
Yeah, sounds good, man. That's awesome. I enjoyed that. First podcast ever, and I thank you. Big shout out to you, bro. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, maybe we can do this again another time. Just talk about other things, or who knows, 35 minutes. Unless you want to go for another like 10, just talk about hunting stuff.
Yeah, man, I'm down for that. Send it.
Cool. So then, I know you said you hunt a lot on what is it, the reservation, Quashan?
Yeah, the reservation. Yep. Sean.
A lot of deer hunting. I hear that there is some deer out here more towards, I guess it would be YPG. I know I've seen a lot of bighorn out there by like Mitri and going closer that way towards I know there's a place up there, like is there a place up there called Desert Shores or something like that?
It's called Hidden Shores.
Or Hidden Shores. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them up there.
I remember. Yeah, there was a time because I work in pest control, so we get to drive around a lot, checking areas basically. And there was one day that we went up there, and just right there on the golf course up there, just walking along.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. It's crazy you say that. You bring that up because I had never seen a ram until last year upriver. We were coming back from a fishing trip, and my buddy's like, "Hey, there you go, Lugo." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "There's your ram." And I'm like, "Oh my God," taking pictures and all that, binoculars and all that. Well, about 3 years ago, my son, and then he was probably like 7, 8. Man, he was about 8 years old. He went out for a ride in the general with his tata, and they went out towards Hidden Shores and all that. They went those backways and all that. And he says, "Dad, guess what I saw?" And I'm like, "What?" He said, "I saw a ram." And I'm like, "Really, dude?" He's like, "Yes." And I told my wife, I said, "This lucky little kid." He's 8 years old. I've never seen a ram in my life. And this kid, he's 8 years old. And he's seen it. I was happy for him. I was like, "Dude, that's so awesome." And he had his little phone. He took some pictures and all that. He was stoked. So,
That's cool.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them out there. Yep.
Yeah, that was one thing that. Where were we? Me and my nephews, we did a kayak camping trip off of at what is it? It's up there, the Hoover Dam.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So we booked an outfitter to get a permit to drop us at the bottom of the dam.
Yeah.
And then from there, we made a 2-day camping trip, or a 2-day trip, basically.
Yeah.
Dropped us in. We paddled about 6-7 miles. Camped. That next morning, we caught I caught like a 23-inch rainbow trout.
Nice. That's a good one right there, bro.
And then my cousin, he caught probably right around the same length in a big old channel cat.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that thing was huge.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
But it was funny. It was like a trout. It was more of just line of sight fishing. It was right there on the shore, right up close, real shallow. And all I did was just throw a power bait right there, right in front of him. And it took it and ran.
Now, you said that was in the river?
Yeah, that was the Colorado River.
Now, was that... Okay, this is probably... Maybe this is a dumb question, but I'm not too keen on trout. But was that a stock trout or was that a native trout?
I think it may have been a stocked. I'm not too sure. Is there like a specific way depending on like the color of the meat?
I that's the thing. I wouldn't be able to tell you offhand. I've always heard that rainbow trout are, they're stocked trout, and if you see them in the wild, they've somehow got through the system. But then I've also heard that there's a species of wild rainbow trout. So
see, I've heard the same thing too.
Yeah, I'm not no trout expert. I've caught rainbow trout, I've caught brown trout, and I've caught those German type trout or whatever. And I know the German trouts, they're native, they're native fish, and certain waters, and so that was an awesome catch for us right there. But yeah, I've heard different stories.
So it's like when I cleaned that fish out, it had pink meat, so it was very much like salmon almost. It was a good fish. It tasted real good.
So the pink meat, that would tell me that it was probably a wild trout, wouldn't it? Because
that's what I would think.
Aren't the farmer's trout like white meat?
That's what I think as well. Yeah, because I remember fishing Kern River area, Northern California, and I've caught some small. They're probably about 10, 12-inch little rainbows with pink meat. Yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, I would love for somebody to educate me on that. I'm all ears. I don't know 100%, You ask me about catfish, and I'll give you the answer, but trout, it's like, I'm one of the pond guys. When they're stocked in the pond, I'll go out and fish them. I'll throw my rainbow trout up, my rainbow bait out there, and my salmon eggs, and I'll go all day. But as far as wild, I have no clue, man.
No, yeah, see, and so really what I was getting to with that kayak camping trip, we were on our way back from after packing up and everything. And we were already paddling back to where they were going to pick us back up. And right there on the shore, basically, close, what is that? I'm trying to think of the name of the beach that was right there. I think it was like Willows Beach or something like that.
Okay.
Right there was a whole bunch of bighorn just chilling right there at the side of the river.
Yeah, that's badass. That's awesome, man. Yep. That's crazy, man, because like I said, when we saw them upriver, we saw one, and then, bam, we saw another one right after that. And they weren't big, but just seeing them like that, and the sun was hitting them, bro, I was just like, dude, this is awesome. Like, there's nothing better than seeing something like that in the wild.
Oh, no,
natural habitat, doing his thing, that was just, man, it gave me chills, bro. Just like with that bald eagle I saw the other day, that was something else.
Well, I seen that, yeah. that was pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. That was America right there, bro.
Yep.
Yep. So, heck yeah, man.
So, have you ever done any predator hunting out here? Or heard of people that do?
I've done some coyote hunting. That's about as extent as I did. We went out one weekend, and we didn't get drawn for deer, and so we went out, we got our hunting license and all that, and started calling them in and all that, and it was pretty fun though, bro. It was a lot of fun, man.
Let's see, that's one thing that I want to try, just to get myself at least one coyote skull, just have that as a little trophy.
Yeah. Oh, definitely, man. They're fun, man. They're a lot of fun to hunt, bro.
That's one thing that I've heard, because I have another buddy of mine that has a podcast, Ridge to Ridge Outdoors podcast.
Okay.
And lately, he's been on a streak with basically pounding dogs left and right out there in California.
Oh, nice. That's freaking awesome.
And he's just been all up on it. But he's been using a shotgun to shoot him with.
Oh, really? Is he using a slug or like some buckshot?
I think so.
Oh, that'd be a pretty cool shot, man. You'd have to get him in close,
Oh, yeah, and I think that's what it is. He brings them in to at least, I think it's like 50 yards.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. How the sound, that those calls. I'm assuming he's using a call, that.
Oh no, yeah, he is.
How close they come in and how fast they run. It's like, wow, that's unreal, man. And then they stop.
No, yeah.
Boom, Yeah.
Oh no, I've seen the ability that a coyote has. So in California, my parents, they have 2.5 acres, and my dad raises goats.
Okay.
So there was one night, it was probably 2, 3 in the morning. Next thing you know, we hear one of our goats screaming its head off.
Oh no.
We run out there, see a goat kind of flopping on the ground like it needed help or some sort, and then in the distance by the street light, you could see a coyote, just like the silhouette of a coyote just sitting right there on the other side of the fence.
Yeah.
So it's like, we knew he was in there doing something.
Oh yeah, definitely. They're ruthless, and it's crazy. By themselves, they're ruthless, but when they're in a pack,
oh no, yeah,
like holy crap, dude, that's unreal stuff, man. That's just crazy how they act, when they're packed up. They're not afraid of nothing.
Oh no, yeah, I've came in contact with coyotes before, just out there in California, just riding my bike, and this thing's like 10 feet away from me, just kind of chilling, just kind of checking me out. Wasn't afraid of me either, so it was just like, this is weird.
Yeah, it's one of those things, and what's even scary is like over in Phoenix, they're getting out of control like that, and they're just getting super brave because they're getting used to it.
They roam the neighborhoods out there. I hear is like there was a thing on TikTok that I had seen where there was one chilling on someone's car.
Yeah, I saw that same thing. I'm like, wow, man, that's, I wouldn't want to have my little kids running around outside with those things running,
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah, you know. Jeez. But definitely, man, that's not good.
Oh, whoa, what's going on here? Okay. My phone was tripping out.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah,
so how about you, man? How'd you get in? If you don't mind me asking a question, how'd you get into the podcast?
So honestly, it was because of my friends that have the podcast. So I started it because since I work in pest control, I'm driving around a lot by myself.
Yeah.
So then once I first started it, it was basically me in my work truck just talking about anything.
There you go. There you go.
And after that, I was like, I kind of upgraded my equipment slowly, and then just from there, now I have a pretty good recorder now, and just kind of went from there. And it's just really, it's like I find time whenever I can to record.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
And it's like lately we've been doing it more as a family though too. It's like me and my wife, and then my stepdaughter. We'll all jump in, and like I think our last one was we were talking about we hiked up Telegraph Pass.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, we did a little thing about that, and then just some of the other little trips and stuff that we've done around here.
Mm-hmm. Cool, man. Well, I think that's awesome that you're doing it, man. There's a lot of people out there that do stuff, but there's only a few that are trying to put Yuma on the map, and that's kind of what I'm doing as well, is trying to get the catfishing game, because it's always been a bassing community, And,
oh no, and that's one thing that I see on like Yuma Fishing Forum too, is just everyone on there bass left and right.
Yeah, and it's all about recognition, and I'm trying to bring it. And I'm not trying to blow myself up in any way possible. I'm just trying to blow our town up and let people know, hey, we better watch out for them Yuma boys. Them dudes know how to catch catfish,
Oh no, yeah.
So I like the podcast, bro. That's a good thing you're doing, man. So
oh no, yeah. It's like
I appreciate that.
With having you on here, now it's going to be like, okay, I'm just trying to spread the word about a lot of the fishing stuff that's out here, just because from what I've seen so far, it's pretty awesome out here.
It's there, bro. You just got to put in the time and the effort, and you gotta educate yourself on what's out there and what to use, and and it'll happen. And you're gonna be out there fishing one of these days, and all of a sudden you're gonna pull in a 30-pound fledge, and you're gonna be like, "What the heck? This ain't no joke. This is what it's all about."
Oh no, I'm waiting for that one of these days. It was funny. So I think I told you about like how I was going out there to Laguna Dam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So when I was out there, I was actually using one of my ocean rigs that has like a big old, I don't even know what kind of size hook it was. I know it was a large hook because it was for shark fishing.
Oh, yeah.
And threw a weight on, threw a live tilapia, and probably within the first 15 minutes, I got a couple hits.
Nice.
But nothing stuck.
Yeah. Yeah. It's when was that?
Probably a little over, or a little less than a month ago.
Yeah, if you go out there and you do that now, I bet you anything will catch something. It's that time of year, bro.
Oh, nice.
It's that time of year, man. I'm telling you.
Well, I don't got anything else. So other than that, we can sign off now. And I don't know if you want to put any plugs for anything. Any?
Yeah. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. If anybody wants to come check out what I got, and tackle wise, or check out the page, it's 928 Flathead Boyz. Once you get on the page, shoot me a message, or give me a call. And I'm not all about making money. I'm just about putting people on good quality gear that they can't find anywhere in town. And I know a lot of people don't like ordering. They don't know what to order. Well, when you come into my shop, you're going to have it in hand. You're going to be able to see what you want and what you get. Plus, you'll have me here to help you, recommend you what to use. And, so if you guys want to further your game, give Muddy River Catfishing a shout out. Go check out his Facebook page, Muddy River Catfishing, or on YouTube. Go check it out. He's on there. Give you great tips, tricks. You guys will see some cool stuff, some big fish being caught, man. It's a great channel.
Cool. That's awesome. And then they can always hit you up on Facebook and whatnot for tips, tricks, anything really too.
Yeah, definitely, man. I am not tight with anything that I know. I am always willing. Like I said earlier, I'm excited for the newbies so I can get them on, something good, and always willing to help anybody out. Anybody that wants to learn, I'm willing to help them.
And then one last thing. So we'll talk about it on here real quick before signing off.
Yep.
Once we're done right here, just don't hang up real quick.
Okay.
And then also, possibly maybe future podcasts or something like that with you. If we do,
definitely.
Like how I mentioned it before in the messages, would you want to bring someone else on just so we can just sit there and just chit chat?
Yeah, definitely. I got a couple people in mind that I would love to bring on, and guys that I got one guy that he's got a lot of fishing experience, and he catches some hogs, man. He can put you on some big fish too, and I got a couple, like I said, a couple other guys. So just let me know ahead of time, and we'll set something up, and it'll be an opportunity for my boys to come in here. And we'll
and that one I would say it would be more of a in-person one instead of like this over the phone.
Yeah, and I'm willing. I can travel as well too. So just let me know the name and spot. Like I said, I enjoy doing this, so I'm up and willing to do it more. And just let me know, and we'll make it happen.
Cool. So with that, we're signing off. Until next time, basically.
Right on, brother. Timeline.
Cool.